I have to stop getting startled when Facebook starts Facebook Lives, because I'm always like this in the thumbnail. Anyway, happy Wednesday, creatives. It's Claire. I hope you're having a good week, and I cannot believe it's Wednesday afternoon already. I just want to do my Wednesday tip. So I tried to post this yesterday as stories, but Facebook wasn't happy, so we'll do it today because I didn't think of anything else to talk about today. Anyway, so Facebook saved me some thinking. If you are joining me live, say hi. If you have questions, make sure you let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. Wednesday tip: your bookkeeping is yours alone. And by that I don't actually mean you have to be alone, or you have to feel alone, or that it's just you. You can always get help, of course. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she was using a paid for program that did all the things, but she'd not quite realised or made the connection that she was in charge of it. Like, I don't mean responsibility wise. She was talking to me about she has certain things she wants to track in her business, and she hadn't figured out how to do those, or hadn't registered that rather than trying to fit her categories into the default categories, she could actually change the default categories. So this is something I always work on when I work with clients. In your chart of accounts, it's really your chart of accounts, and you can customize it and name it however you want. So one of the ones that always comes up is office supplies. If you call it office supplies, that's fine. That's what it's called in Wave. But if you call it stationery, and when you go to type something in, you're going to type stationery, then change the name to stationery, because that's going to make sense to you, and it's going to save you having to think in Wave terms, or whatever software package it is, and help you just to kind of, there's so much you already have to think in Wave terms. So where you can, make Wave match your thinking, as opposed to changing your thinking to match Wave or any accounting software's way of working. So kind of it's like, it's, people get really caught up in thinking that those default categories are the things that you have to report, and they're not, because as a company it's slightly different. But if you're a sole trader, the reporting you do in Australia to the ATO anyway is actually really limited. They tend to ask, depends on your type of business. If you're a primary production farming business, it's probably different. But my experience of creative solopreneur gigs is that the ATO are really only interested in your profit at the end of the day, because that's what you get taxed on. I remember, I haven't done my tax return this year, so maybe it's changed, be clear there. But the one they have previously asked me for cost of goods sold if you're doing products, but that's kind of it. Everything else really just fits into overheads. So all your subscriptions, all your marketing, advertising, cost of doing business, postage, all that stuff just kind of then gets lumped into other. So then, even then, if you don't put something into cost of goods sold, and you leave that blank and you put all your expenses as other, as long as the profit's right, you've paid the right amount of tax. So there's really not going to be a penalty, because of the only penalties you tend to pay are misinformation on purpose and having the wrong payment amount. So if you put in the wrong amount for your GST and you don't pay something that you should have paid, then there's interest applied on that. But if you've overpaid or you've paid the right amount, then there's not. Anyway, I think I'm rambling. What was I going to say? So one of the things I have been doing this week is working on my next live training, and I'm just finalising or going through the content, and it's going to be similar to the last live training, but I've actually this morning, so I got some feedback, and I'm actually looking for some more feedback too. I got some feedback on it, and it just really sparked something really good, and I was like, how can I address that? She said it was not generic in a mean way, but it was very generalised, and she struggled to really apply it to her circumstances and to her situation. So I went, okay, so how can I make this better? How can I make it more applicable? Because I really am about helping people implement and change and improve their financial systems, their financial management, their money management, all that good money finance stuff. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be doing live in the training, building your plan. So I'm going to give you the generic plan, the general plan, but then during the time, what I'm really going to encourage people to do that attend is to make it more specific to their plans. I'm going to give lots of options, lots of examples, lots of things that you probably need to consider, or lots of ways money comes in, money goes out, all those things. We're going to go through them. We're going to go through what you need. So making your specific list of, okay, so I need to capture these things coming in, these things going out. How am I going to do that on a weekly basis in a way that feels manageable, in a way that I get it done in that under an hour a week, in a way that it's not just doing my bookkeeping, but also making sure I'm managing all those financial aspects. And I think that's probably what I undersold in the title of the August version. I said how to do your bookkeeping, and it wasn't just bookkeeping, because that's not where finance starts and ends, as I'm sure you have heard me say before. It's just one aspect of it. So just making sure that we're covering off all the aspects of managing your business finances in under an hour a week. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to share. There's a few different aspects, and as I said, it will be updated from last time. So maybe just join the list. You don't have to join live. You could just come and grab the recording and then kind of skip forward a bit until the changes. But I'm actually going to change it up a fair bit, so it's not going to be the same, but it's going to be a development of the same principles. So I have put the sign up link in the description for the video. If you have questions about it, if you're wondering if it's worth you attending, just send me an email or just write a comment on here and let me know, and I will do my best to let you know if I think it's good for you. And remembering it is only going to be that, half an hour, 40 minutes with time for questions. So equally, if you have questions about how it could work for you, join and we will get through those as well. So I hope you have a great week. I will be back on Friday to talk about this week's topic, which is using operating documents to streamline your finances, which sounds boring, but it's actually really helpful when it comes to saving you time, saving you stress, and really getting things done. And that's what we'll be talking about Friday lunchtime. I will see you then.